One. Okay. We are. This channel has not been updated in a while. A lot of things happened. So, but Bash and Spurge are here for some recap of the season. You want to say?
Hi, how are we doing?
Okay. So, this is actually season 4, and I'm pretty sure the last time this been uploaded has been season 2, I believe. So we got a little end of the season kind of thing. We're gonna go over the standings, the matchups of the first round of the playoffs, and the replays for them. So, do you want to go over some of the standings?
Go with some of the standings. Yeah, so picking up the rear, kind of, there are a couple of teams which had a bit of a shaky season, so kind of the bottom three never really got started. That was the Pittsburgh Piplups, the Illusionists, and Seattle Salandits.
Mm-hmm.
So the Pittsburgh Piplups, I believe, was a team that changed hands along with the Illusionists, but I mean, so Luna kind of had a little bit of inactivity, at which point Easy Pickings picked up the slack. I can't remember who actually led off with the Pittsburgh Piplups.
I believe that was Kurt.
Oh, that was Kurt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they both teams kind of had a shaky start. They managed to pick up 2 wins, which is better than me for some of the seasons. And then I mean, Tsunami is Tsunami, and who knows what's going on there. But I mean, still 3-7 isn't bad, especially with that differential. We then get into just the mess that was the playoff race, really. You have the Houston Hoopers and the Ikitana Cinerols, who are coached by AZ and Coach Choke.
Damn.
And so, I mean, so AZ had a solid season, in fairness. Like he was a bit shaky to begin with, but really picked up the slack. His activity hurt him in the closing closing couple of weeks, because he handed out 2 forfeit wins, one to me and another one to Tsunami, I believe.
Yeah.
Coach, Coach is just unfortunate, really.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he didn't.
There's not much else that needs to be said. He lost to a Scarf Claydol.
Well, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure Coach Oak didn't really like his team other than Naganadel, which who doesn't like Naganadel? But like,
I seem to recall Coach being sniped quite a few times as well through the draft.
Yeah, and I believe for AZ, I believe once he made those transactions for Reshiram, his team started to get like a lot of momentum. And honestly, when I played in regular season, I was terrified of that matchup. Spoilers, we did lose to him. So, but sadly,
wasn't his the Sun team?
No, the Monochrome is the Sun team.
Okay.
AZ had Mega Metagross Reshiram core.
Oh, that core.
Yeah.
I hated my matchup. That's why I was so happy about the forfeit. Yeah, I mean, so then you get into so both of them finished up with a record of 4-7. Then you get to the Bracknell Beedrills, my team, and the Portland Primates, who made it into playoffs. That's Honor, who we'll be talking about in a bit. 5-6. I'm actually quite happy with my season. I beat a couple of people I didn't expect to. I ran most of the higher teams relatively close, apart from you, because you just kind of did your slow whittling thing. That and I think it was Arceus, who was the other player who just solidly outperformed me. I mean, I came in with 5-6 at minus 11. I have a habit of winning by the smallest margins and getting 6-0'd.
Yeah.
And then Honor, I can't really remember much about his season, apart from the fact that he has Megalocariat, which all hail Megalocariat, broken one that always comes top of kill leaders.
Yeah. I believe he had like an up and down season kind of thing. There's I think he was still trying to feel out like his team a little bit. Depending. So, and for your team, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild team, honestly. And some of the sets you brought they worked, but they completely caught the opponent off guard. I'll tell you right away. With I believe didn't you run Quick Attack Sylveon one week? So.
Yeah, Banded Quick Attack Sylveon came. I decided to fulfill that bold prediction.
Mm-hmm. And so the from 6th to ninth place. I that it was all that was still being figured out all in the last week. Anybody from
Yeah,
6th through ninth during that time could have made playoffs if a
it was
certain
mad.
situation happened. So
And it's kind of like from week. It was like 2 weeks. Like week 10, it was like fifth to ninth as well.
yeah, so it was pretty ridiculous with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, I'll talk about Jimmy real quick and RCS. Jimmy and
Right.
Jimmy's team. Let me tell you, this team is like absolutely annoying to deal with to prep for because he has Arceus poison, which I don't know why we let that in the league.
We
It is the
we
worst, one of the worst typings to let in the league. You can't toxic it, and it's so it's so difficult to break through.
right, because he
He's got
wants
a
to get
rain,
that Arceus flying in.
yeah, and then then he's got a rain team on top of that.
Yeah.
So you can't really. It's if you scarf him on, it'll still probably be outsped by Mega Swampert, right? And then there's also the possibility of the fact that you can't set up early to beat the rain team in Arceus because he has a Ditto. So, yeah, I remember my
It's basically the most annoying team to try and work out a matchup for.
yeah, 100%. Arceus had a very I want to say the cores were a lot better than last season. For him, I really like the improvement in his draft playing because last season, like he still made playoffs and he even made it past the first round last season with
Yeah.
like 6 ground types. So, but this season he had like he had the insane Fairy Dragon Steel core. I believe he had like Xerneas, Celesteela, Garchomp, and he had Stakataka on top of that. If you want to add that in.
Yeah,
Um,
and he had like webs as well.
Yeah, and he had the fastest mon in the league, I think, and the slowest mon in the league also with Mega Bijo and Stakataka.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was
But did anybody draft Zeraora, or were we still in the stages of deciding what to do with it? I can't remember.
um
I
is
think we
Zeraora
still.
faster than Mega
Oh.
Bijo?
Uh,
Come on, I should know this. I
time to
have this
check.
in the league.
Time to check. Time to check quickly. Speed is key.
Yeah, it is.
Zero, I seem to remember, is 143. So Beetle, I think, is 145. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
that is this is the quickest thing.
Yeah, so it's pretty difficult so you can't really run Trick Room against him because he's got
No.
even though he has a fast team, but then like the problem is like outspeeding also, and he has pretty good walls too and wall breakers. So that's always a really good season. I
Yeah.
believe he started out really strong and then fell off a little bit and then picked it up right at the end of the season.
He like
Um,
led out with a 6-0 and 2-5 I seem to remember, because one of them was me.
yeah, yeah. I believe he got a 6-0 with Stakataka Trick Room first week, and then I don't even know what happened after that.
Yeah.
But then I'll go over my team because I'm in third here with 8-3 as Arceus and Jimmy were both 7-4 at the same differential, but they're gonna play each other anyway in playoffs as it would work out. Um, I was third place with 8-3 with 23 differential, and I had the insane core from last season that somebody drafted with Mega Mance, Magirna, and Suicune. But on top of that, I added Victini.
I hate it.
So with that team, it's been there was a time where I had a little drop off, I believe. I was struggling with
Was
a
a
couple
time much
games.
before I was in your front office.
Yeah. um. Yeah. So I did lose the first game, but the team wasn't finalized yet because there was still trading going around. Um, but after that, I started out pretty strong and it kept going strong until I believe I played AZ, and I think I played Sketch like a week or two after that, and I felt like it dropped off a little bit. But we picked it up again at the end with Comfey sweeping Splurge, so it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. The less said about that, the better.
Do you want to talk about Sketch?
Um, yeah, if I can quickly find his draft, he went 8-3 with a differential of 22. I mean, it's just he he had a solid. He did a sketch thing and just was solid all season.
Mhm.
I'm still currently stalling to find his draft.
I believe
Here we go.
he did actually, after his transactions, his team became a lot better.
Yeah, I seem to remember he kind of scraped a couple. Oh yeah, he had Mewtwo because it was the Mewtwo curse that we were keeping on.
Yeah, so there's actually a curse in this league that the Mewtwo, whoever had Mewtwo, didn't actually make playoffs.
That
Um,
dark, right?
um, and also a little pointer before you see before you yell up something about the how I have a better differential than Sketch and all that, and with the same record. The only reason he's above me is because he beat me in the regular season. That's how it works for that kind of thing.
Because matchup comes before differential.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he got. What was it? So he's got Mewtwo, Landorus T because Lando T is amazing. He had. Yeah, his team was the fat team.
Yep. Basically.
His was just a team of bulky offense because it got Milotic and Rhyperior and Snorlax and Komodo. Oh my god! I'm just remembering everything that I hated about this.
Yep.
Yeah, he went 8-3.
Yeah. So yeah, and honestly, I know he loves his Milotic. He has brought Flame Body, Flame Orb, Milotic every single week of the season, and it's worked out for him pretty much 8 games of the 8 games out of the 11. So I mean,
yep.
so honestly, his team's really hard to break, and he after he made the transactions for Snorlax and all that, his team just became really difficult to beat. And actually, he gave Crypto, which is our #1 team, the only loss this entire season so far.
Yeah. So Crypto's Crypto again. He has a hold on us whenever he turns up to play. His team included Solgaleo, Alandosai, Mega Manetric, the boss, his beloved Licky Licky, and of course, how can we forget? But his first 2 drafts were Talonflame and Mega Ampharos before he traded in for Mega Manetric.
Yeah.
And he still went 10-1, and it's just he turns up, puts us to shame, and then goes on his way. Yeah, no, I mean, he's just played solidly, highest differential, highest just like everything. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with second matchups with some teams. Because I feel like he played out he did a kind of season 6 where he just he went hell for leather on the season and then didn't really keep anything for playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong. He's going to pull out some fire now and just come out just to prove us wrong. But, yeah.
So going to the playoff situation, the first and second seed get buys. The third plays a 6th, and the fourth plays a 5th. So I'm gonna go into the matchups real quick.
Okay.
So the first match we'll talk about is Jimmy Arceus. So honestly, Arceus Poison looks absolutely insane this match. He doesn't really have a way. The only mons that really outspeed it is Mega Beedrill, right? And Mega Beedrill can't do anything to Arceus Poison this entire match. So I'm definitely expecting a Scarf for this match, or some way to a lot of good prep for Arceus Poison from Arceus.
Yeah, like Yashi Garchomp or something to deal with the possibility of Ice Beam Arceus. Yeah, no, I mean, the most the Mega Beedrill can do is a drill run, and that's not going to do much.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing is so looking on the other side. I mean, Tornadus here is in kind of a unique position. So I always like drafting Tornadus because you get Prankster plus weather setting, and so I think, if I remember correctly, Tornadus gets Sunny Day as well, so it can be a counter Sunsetter.
Yeah.
And so Arceus also has Torkoal as well, so it was kind of an interesting matchup to come into, whether or not we're going to have a weather war or whether Arceus is going to try and just outmaneuver the rain.
Yeah.
I mean, Arceus has his beloved Jinx as well, so
yeah, no.
You know, I
Hmm? You there, Splurge?
I'm here.
Okay. You just cut it out for a second. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine.
Um, Also on RC's side, I'm gonna just tell you right off the bat, the Celesteela looks pretty good this match. Um,
Yeah.
his he's not gonna bring Moltres. If he brings Rain, he's not gonna bring Moltres. And Helios is the only thing that's gonna really pressure Celesteela, and unless Arceus brings some coverage move for it. Um, Celesteela can really put a stop to his Rain Core. With Mega Swampert, Pelipper.
Yeah.
So that's something to look.
It needs the Heliolisk to be able to pivot in and do something. And I mean, Celesteela has Earthquake as well to try and combat that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh, is there anything else we should? Uh, Arceus might try to see if he brings a Scarfer. He might also try to bring webs with Arachnid to try to counter the rain to help with that. It's a good
I mean,
possibility, but
it also helps with Arceus because then you get Garchomp within firing distance of just letting loose
yeah,
a Groundium Z.
yeah. Do you want to go into the match first, and then we'll go to the then we'll do the matchup though for the other one?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, so Arceus brought Xerneas, Celesteela, Garchomp, Araquanid, Hoopa, Confined, a Tornadus Eye, and Jimmy brought. You there?
Effectively everything that you'd
Yeah.
expect. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Mew, Heliolisk, Pelipper, Arceus Poison, Bisharp, and Mega Swampert.
Looking off of matchup right away, Arceus looks really good this match. As I said before, Hoopa can be a little bit of a problem for it, but he has a Bisharp that could help with that. He does have ways to remove hazards, but I don't know if he's going to be able to pressure Celesteela enough with Heliolisk. Although Heliolisk does put a lot of work into everything. If it clicks the right move, if it clicks the right move, it's going to put in a lot of work this match, I think.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm really looking at kind of the Arachnid Garchomp core here and kind of just wondering whether or not he's able to get enough damage along with that and Hooper can find to sort out the Arceus without taking too much damage on the rest of his mons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start the match real quick.
Okay.
So Jimmy leads off with Helios, and Arceus leads off with Hoopa confined. Interesting lead for Arceus, I think. Maybe he was predicting the Arceus poison right off the bat because Hoopa can help with that. But I would honestly think that that Arceus will switch out the Hoopa confined here because Helios is probably packing the Dark Pulse here, and that could be really threatening for it.
Yeah.
But I guess he decides to keep Hoopa in, and he reveals the Dream Punch.
Which is quite
nice. So
physical Hooper is a bit of an interesting one.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like if I believe Hoopa Confined actually has a decent amount of physical attack, and Helios has no physical attack, so I'm thinking he's kind of mixed at this point of view, and maybe the Dream Punch is for Bisharp, but
that's a shout. It's a bit of a low set.
Yeah, because Hoopa Confined can be run mixed. It can be. It's just very rare to see it because it's such a high special attacker.
Yeah, base 110 attack.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that I ran Helios in the other league, and it has pitiful defense. Like its special defense isn't bad, but its defense is just, oh,
yep.
Yeah. So, seeing this, I'm a little surprised. I could see why Arceus did this, but that Dark Pulse didn't do as much as I thought he would. So that might, I'm thinking,
bulky set.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he's going to get a lot of HP back up to 78%. And Jimmy realizing he's going to lose this battle, he's going to Volt switch out because Helios is a big for this game, honestly. And he goes out to Pelipper. And
easy switch.
Yeah. And Hoopa just goes for a Drain Punch, just not over predicting or anything like that. Just get off the damage. If you take out the Helios or anything switching in, that'd be nice. But now the rain is set, so Swampert doesn't look that bad. It's just gonna have a difficult time breaking through Celesteela. And I also forgot to mention that Araquanid with liquidation in the rain is probably super scary.
It does a decent amount of damage back.
Yeah.
The whole of his team.
Hmm.
without like a ferrothorn or something.
Yeah, honestly, like, um, but um, so on this turn, I believe Hoopa switches out or Pelipper. Pelipper makes a double. He makes a double with, which is pretty smart. With as Hoopa does actually get Thunderbolt, which I completely forgot about at the moment. Um, so trying to get Bisharp in for free to maybe try to pursue trap this thing, which could be nice. He's just got to be careful about speed tiers, as I don't know exactly the speed tier of Hoopa compared to Bisharp, but if we already saw the Drain Punch, so Drain Punch would definitely take out Bisharp from here at 41%.
Yeah. No, I mean it's sensible play at the moment. There's no kind of stunting turn three.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going to 10-4.
Yeah. Bisharp goes for Pursuit.
On the Switch.
Yeah. You could already see in the chat that Jimmy already knew that Hoopa was gone. I don't know if it how much speed he put into Bisharp. But if Hoopa was, mm-hmm, yeah, because if Hoopa was able to outspeed and take it out with a Drain Punch, that would have been really scary. As he does not have another switch into Hoopa on his team,
Yeah.
so.
Fun fact: Hooper and Bioshock are both base 70, so it could have been a speed time.
Oh.
If he went for the Drain Punch.
Yeah, that would have been bad. So
yeah.
because Hoopa's gone, Arceus has a little more free room now, but Arceus decides to bring in Torn. Probably trying to get those hurricanes off in the rain, or switch up the weather, or click like Hammer Arm or something like that. That it gets, or superpower, right?
Yeah, it gets superpower relief.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So.
So Arcus Poison switches. Bioshock switches out into Arcus Poison, and Tornadus gets free Hurricane off. I hope they haven't just gone a turn ahead without pressing play.
No, we're good. But it reveals that Torn actually trying to take advantage of the weather rather than changing it
instead of resetting it.
Yeah,
and he's also Life Orb.
Mm-hmm. So he's offensive Torn, which is nice to know. He's not like some Scarf or Spec set. He's not locked into it, so
yeah, easy reads.
I believe Torn gets Psychic, so it's if I don't remember if he's a Z user. He's not, but
I don't believe so.
Yeah, but if he clicks Psychic here, that could do a decent amount based off of how much Hurricane just did.
Yeah.
So let's see if what happens here.
So we get a switcher into Celesteela, and Arcus Poison just goes for the recover. So 2 turns wasted.
Yep, basically, and but at least the rain is over now. But that leaves Celesteela a little exposed to Fire type moves, also.
Yes. Or a free healer switching. Although then this is a free Leech Seed opportunity for Celesteela.
Yeah.
But switches in from Arcus Poison, and the Leech Seed misses. Oof. That's a bit unfortunate.
I mean, it is known to miss, but like it's still that's rough. But yeah. I don't know how much it would have mattered because I could see Pelipper running U-turn anyway to U-turn out. So, but it would have forced us. It would have probably forced a switch, which is probably what Arceus wanted.
Yeah. So we then get the Protect from Pelipper, from Celesteela even, as Pelipper goes for a Hydro Pump. So feeling that it could be a bit more of an offensive set, could be the Scarful Spec set, which I always enjoy running when I decided to do rain, because it's just like, what?
Yeah, no, it can break things like with the what's that rain boost?
Yeah, this is a support mon. Oh wait, no, it's not. Okay, well that's dead. Yeah, so the Protect, easy, kind of just trying to spec out what this Pelipper is. So the Hydro Pump comes off. Hydro Pump goes in again on the Celesteela, going to turn 9. And Celesteela reveals the Giga Drain. Interesting choice. I mean, it's nice for the Swampert because it'll probably do in at least a 2-hit KO for it.
Also to note, the Pelipper outspeed. So if it goes for a Roost and he gets a Giga Drain off, that's super effective damage. That's not neutral.
Yeah.
So he's got to be careful about that for Jimmy.
then we get the Roost next turn, and a Leech Seed from the Celesteela. So we now have a seeded Pelipper, and Celesteela nearly back to full.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
it's just solid plays.
yeah. Honestly, I mean, but like Celestial needs that Leech Seed recovery, because
Yeah,
it doesn't get any reliable recovery, so it's gonna and to be an effective bulky wall, it's gonna need that Leech Seed.
yeah,
Honestly,
and I don't believe Zernies is a wish passer either. So
yeah, it's not.
it hasn't got any sort of health support.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, if I was Arceus, I'd just click Leech Seed every day of the week because reading those double switches is such fun.
Yeah.
So we get going into turn 11. We get a Giga Drain on the Heliolisk switching. So Heliolisk doing its thing of trying to pressure on the Celesteela.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an interesting 50-50 for Arceus because Heliolisk is almost certainly going to be carrying HP Ice as it comfortably outspeeds Garchomp.
Yeah.
But so Arceus may want to just stick it in and go for the kill to take this out. Makes
Yeah.
one thing less of an issue for his team.
Also to note, as we mentioned before, there's probably going to be a Scarfer, and by the way the team is built, I believe it would either be the Xerneas or Chomp, as he likes running Scarfs on them throughout the season. So
Yeah, I got stung by Scarf and he's quite hard.
yeah.
Yeah. So going into turn 12 now, we see the hidden power shown on the Heliolisk. It's normal damage onto neutral damage onto the Celesteela, so it's probably is HPIs. And the Celesteela stays in, goes for the Giga Drain and gets the kill on the Heliolisk.
Mm-hmm.
And a Spadef boost. Interesting to note.
Yeah, it is very interesting the fact that he also has a Mega Swampert there too.
Yeah, more Spadef tilted on when there's a Swampert around. I mean, it's a bit brave.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it might be one of these. It could be that Arceus power corrupt it so that it's literally by a single point, but who knows?
Yeah.
We don't have the actual sets with us.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, as fun as it would be.
Yeah. So in response to this, as the Helios goes down, he sends out Mew, which we don't know what Mew is gonna do, as it's the most versatile mon in the Draft League format. It could be carrying like something like some fire move, electric move. It has all these different options. Interesting to see what he would do. Maybe he's like a taunt set or something like that to stop Celestia from being so annoying with the leech seeding. Like a taunt Super Fang set could be interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, Mew is just try and work with because it's both the most versatile thing, but then you feel sometimes like within a draft you're going to pin it too far into one kind of play style.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we see going into turn 13 that Mew reveals the Thunder, which is a nice bring for a rain team, and he gets the para on Celesteela, doing 30% with a +1 Spadef. So that really tells me that this Mew is kind of balls to the wall offensive.
Yeah.
And Celesteela breaks through power and gets the Leech Seed off, which is kind of nice. This is playing another game that I played recently because I got Celesteela in a different draft, but
yeah,
that's for a different time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's I feel like having heard what there was about this game, that is probably the turn that defines the rest of the match.
Yeah, that para is really that para is really unfortunate. Because it does allow Celestia to be hindered a little bit. But we're just gonna have to play on with the game, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of it's hacks is hacks. You just got to work with what you got.
Yeah.
And hope that you don't get parried.
I believe like Thunder's like I don't know. I remember it's a decently higher chance. I think it's like
I believe it's 30%.
Yeah, so it's like a Scald burn. So it's not like
yeah.
yeah. So Um,
It's like Jirachi on heads.
that's not. Well, yeah, that's pretty accurate. So turn 14, he brings in Arceus Poison on the Celesteela, which is interesting, as Celesteela was to switch into Arceus before. Um,
I mean, so was it? We we banned quite a lot of Arceus for kind of
the
setup and
only
recovery.
yeah, the only setup it's allowed to have is work up.
Work up, yeah.
Mhm.
Which he's brought quite a couple of times. So, I mean, depending on how the paras work out, this could be an opportunity for Jimmy to really set up and go in on this
Yeah.
on Arceus.
Mhm.
But so going into turn 15, Jimmy doubles back into Mew as Celesteela goes for the Leech Seed.
Well, so we're back to square one right here.
Yeah, we're straight back to turn 13. And
Except for Celestea's at 4 now. So.
I'm starting to realise why this is an 80 turn match.
Oh. This is the 80 turn.
I think it's something like that. Wait, let me quickly get up a second set of the replay copy. Where we go? You carry on. I'll quickly check.
Okay. So on turn 16, he switches back into Arceus, trying to get the para hacks. As turns, he looks like he's just trying to switch in and out, trying to avoid the Leech Seed. But Celestial goes for the Heavy Slam, revealing that it's a mixed attacker, which is interesting. He doesn't really have much to hit the Power Per then, unless it goes for a Roost, because Heavy Slam is resisted, and Giga Drain wasn't doing that much to begin with. And also reveals that, like, unless he's got some other coverage move, it's not going to really be able to hit Bisharp or Arceus that hard at all.
No,
Yeah.
unless it's carrying Earthquake in the back.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, actually, no. Wait, hang on.
Hmm?
Giga Drain, Heavy Slam, and Protect revealed. That's his whole set.
Yeah.
So it can't touch Bioshock. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm off my own world. Also, this is a 66 turn match.
Oh, well, maybe I'll speed it up a little bit then.
Yeah, speed up a little bit.
So Celesteela goes for the as I said before, he goes for the Heavy Slam, and he makes a double back out into Pelipper, which is I don't know what Jimmy's doing. Maybe he's trying to stall out the Celesteela here, or something like that, as he's making all these crazy doubles, as he does in turn 18 as well with switching into Mew.
Yeah. The Leech Seed missing on turn 17 is kind of unfortunate, but it's not really making much difference with how many double switches Jimmy is making at the moment.
Yeah.
Turn 19, softball plus a Leech Seed. We're back to turn 13 again.
Yeah. As what he's probably doing is probably going to PP stall the Celesteela, as Helios was his only answer to it on his team.
Yep.
So this thing is just.
You see Jimmy make that comment, turn 20.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, he can really do that. He could probably PP stall Celesteela if he really wants to. Heavy Slam is not that many PP, as you would think, and he's got reliable recovery on all these mons, and it's just going to be difficult, as it's just Heavy Slamming Leech Seed Celesteela right now, and everything's just recovering and switching out. And going for Thunder, apparently, as Arceus and Mew are carrying the Thunder. I'm actually on turn 25 now, so.
You're on turn 25 now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay, so.
So the Arceus Poison's just come back in, as Xerneas comes in.
Which is really bad for Arceus at the moment. Almighty Arceus, the player, but not.
Yeah, and so Celesteela comes back out onto the pitch for turn 26. Surprise, surprise. But now it's lost its Spadef boost, so the Thunder going into turn 27 off the Arceus is actually doing 40% effectively.
Yeah,
and interesting thing.
Yeah, so now the Thunder's doing more than Celesteela is recovering back, so that's going to be quite an issue, honestly.
Yeah. Turn 28, we see a Mew and Xerneas switch in, which is an interesting one. And then turn 29, Xerneas goes for Calm Mind. And then this is when it starts to get interesting.
Yeah.
So we get the judgment from Arceus Poison, and then a return to the Psychic from Xerneas. So both of them have brought some sort of super effective balance for each other. But the judgment, what am I talking about? the Zernies brought the Kabir berry, so it only did 22%, which is a nice bring. Means that Zernies gets itself another turn of setup if it so wants.
Yeah.
And we see that the Psychic does over half. So
That's only a +1 also. That's like.
yeah, depending on the roll, it might be a high or low roll, so we don't really know.
Mm.
But so that could spell some bad things for the Arceus.
Yeah.
But then, so going into turn 31, we see the recovery and a calm mind on the recover. Brilliant play by Arceus. We've got some offensive plays going on, and then Bisharp switches in on the Psychic, and then outspeeds the Zernies.
Huh.
These
So
plays are mad.
it is a Scarf. Bisharp.
Scarf Bisharp.
So that explains why he said that earlier with Hoopa Confined,
Yeah,
but it's not able to.
It was killing.
Yeah, it's not able to take out the Xerneas, but Xerneas is easily revenged now that it's at like 4%. As Arceus comes in, clicks Ice Beam, and it's down. In response on 35, he brings in the Araquanid, and Jimmy makes a double out into Pelipper, which is I don't know how good that is to giving Araquanid water like rain, but
yeah. I mean, so the sticky webs go down. Turn 36, we see the defog from the Pelipper. So it's got some sort of support and a toxic from Arachnid.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be nice for Arceus as we're putting a timer on the Pelipper as we see a Hurricane and a Reflect from Arachnid. So this is full support.
Yeah.
Which is interesting considering how much liquidation could do.
Mm-hmm.
We then see a switch into Celesteela on another Hurricane.
Yeah.
Followed by a switch into Mew. Tell me when I'm going too quickly. We've hit turn 40.
Okay, I'm on turn 40. Yeah. Celesteela goes for the Leech Seed. It got paralyzed before on turn 39, but on turn 41, he makes a double out trying to PP stall the Celesteela again, but he makes a double out into Tornadus, trying to take advantage of the rain being up, which is absolutely terrifying.
Marcus's part, he's managing to pivot well, and then we see the Tailwind. Ooh, okay, plot twist. I'm enjoying this now.
Yeah.
We see a Hurricane into the Arceus Poison, which is nice. Up with a Taunt, so he can't recover.
Which is brilliant. That's a brilliant good tack right there.
Really nice. That's a nice bring on Arceus' part. We see another Hurricane
and
into a Thunder. So the Taunt goes down, but now Arceus is in revenging. So we see the Garchomp come out now. So he goes for the Crunch,
which now reveals.
Play.
Yeah, and now he reveals his Scarf, which we thought was either him or Xerneas, as we saw Xerneas was Calm Mind before, but.
Yep.
So
we now get into a 3v3 status of Mew, Pelipper, and Swampert, with Mew coming out onto the field. Celesteela switching in, and we have the same two at it again, and I'm going to lose my mind if they stay on the field for much longer. We have a Thunder from Mew heading into turn 49 now on this Leech Seed from the Celesteela again.
Oh my god. It's doing what it does well. I mean, that's like...
It's doing what it does, but it's hard to commentate over. We see the Pelipper coming on the Protect from Celesteela. Nice play. Getting the rain up. This sets up Swampert kind of nice. And we also get the Roost from the Pelipper on a full para from the Celesteela, which I feel like the hacks is starting to come in.
I mean, he didn't really get parried that much throughout the game, to be honest.
No.
There was a couple of times he did, but like the amount that he's using Celesteela, he didn't get paralyzed that much earlier in the game.
We see turn 52, another full para as Mew goes for Soft Boiled.
And actually, this might work against Jimmy, as now Celesteela is not getting PP stalled.
Yeah.
But
plus, the rain count is running down, so the Thunders are going to be less likely to hit now that they're out of rain.
Mm-hmm.
And so we see the Pelipper switching again onto the Celesteela as the Celesteela switches out for Garchomp. Interesting play. Do we see a Rock Slide come out? No, a double switch into Celesteela as Swampert comes out. That's a nice play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's a Giga Drain off,
Uh,
but it's not
yep,
gonna do much to Mew,
Mew.
honestly. And
And another Thunder going for 44%.
you got a para
And a
there.
full para. Now, so that might be crucial because it may be a high roll to kill on Celesteela, not sure. And it's another full para on the Celesteela as Mew goes for another Thunder.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think those two moves are like the game defining moves which I've seen Arceus complain about.
Mm-hmm.
And then another full para as again, and the Thunder hits outside of rain, so the Celesteela goes down. And so the Arachnid comes out against the Mew, and so the Mew misses the Thunder now. And the Arachnid goes for the Sticky Webs. Good play.
Yeah. That's the only way he could possibly win
It's
this
the only
game.
way he wins.
Yeah.
The Thunder misses again. We have a Toxic onto Mew, which synchronizes back onto Arachnid. So both are now on timers. We see Soft Boiled and Reflect. You want to say something there, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say. At this point, it seems like he's sacking off his Arachnid here to Toxic. As he's trying to weaken down the Mew so Garchomp can actually do something before the end of the game. As he only and then on turn 63, Arachnid reveals Scald, which is interesting because I would think that he would want to get the liquidation boost, but knowing that I had a feeling that he would go for Defog here with Pelipper, which is a good play on turn 64 for Arachnid to go for Sticky Webs before going down. Now you get to bring in Garchomp, and he needs to get a lot of crits here.
A lot of crits and a lot, yeah.
He goes for.
We see the sword start, so it's not Scarf. So that was a bulky Arceus.
Huh. Yeah, would you look at that?
The Ice Beam, which rounds out the game.
Yep.
And so Jimmy wins 2-0 in one of the longest games that I've commentated for quite some time.
Yeah. I was a little surprised that he didn't bring a Scarfer. I thought that was the Garchomp was going to be the Scarfer, but I guess we're wrong.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah.
So the next. Do you want to go into the next matchup?
So we have Bash. I wonder who he is. I've never heard of his name before. Of the New York News, playing Honor, His Holiness of Portal Primates.
Yeah.
Go on, let's hear your draft before I give honors.
Okay, so we got Mega Ments here, Magearna, Victini, Crocodile, Roserade, Machamp, Silvally, Regirock, Suicune, Raikou, Rotom, Comfey, and the Z captains being Magearna and Victini.
And then so for Honor we have his S tier being Megalocaria, Darkrai, Tornadus T, Goodra, Alamomola, Delmise, Mudsdale, Electivire, Volcarona, Reuniclus, Amoonguss, Diancie, and his two Z captains being Darkrai and Tornadus T.
Yeah.
The unholy regenerator team.
Ew, honestly looking at the team, it was not that fun to prep for. And I know that when I came to prep for this, we played earlier, and I knew his Darkrai was Scarf, and that his way of stopping Mega Salamence from sweeping, as Scarf Darkrai outspeeds Mega Salamence at +1. So that's something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah. So the brings we see. So Bash. I wonder again. Don't know who he is. But so he brings his Mega Salamence, Magearna, Suicune, Victini, Regirock, and Raikou.
I could tell you a couple of the sets I remember correctly. I believe Mega Ments was Return, Roost, Dragon Dance, Earthquake. Magearna was AV, was Volt Switch. I believe it was Flash Cannon, Dazzling Gleam, and Ice Beam. Then Suicune was Rest Talk, Rocky Helmet, Roar, Scald. Victini was a bulky Scarfer with U-Turn, V-Create, Bolt Strike, and Trick. Regirock was a Spadef with Rindo Berry for the Volcarona with Stealth Rocks, Drain Punch, Stone Edge, and Toxic. And Raikou was a really disgusting set with the leftovers with Sub, Protect, Toxic, Discharge. So.
You mean to say that you're precious stalling here?
Yeah. Basically. So the only problem if for Raikou, the only thing that would be really annoying for Raikou is if he brought Reuniclus and it was Magic Guard. And would you look at that?
Yeah, it's Reuniclus.
um,
I was going to say, so for what Honor brings, it suggests that the Reuniclus might be Regenerator, so he's only brought two of his possible Regenerator ones, in that and Tornadus.
mm,
And he enjoys bringing Regenerator calls to just kind of really bulk out his team and just kind of fall on them in case all hell breaks loose.
yeah.
The rest of his team, Diancie, Darkrai, Megalocario, Mudsdale. So it's an interesting matchup. I mean, I can remember kind of just quietly looking at your prep for this and kind of just being quietly confident. The Mega Salamence. I talked about this enough last season when I gave away Mega Salamence during the draft. I mean, Megamence Magearna is just.
Oh. Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. Just don't get me started.
So, if I remember correctly, last he loves running his Diancie actually offensive or setup. So, it would be interesting to see what he does this time because he might also try to help with Megaments because Megaments is a problem. He might run a berry. I don't know if he runs a steel reducing berry or the ground reducing berry. As I could be running Iron Tail or Earthquake. As I chose to run Earthquake this one, just because he has, I believe, Electivire. But so let's go into this match. Uh, I lead off with Magearna because I could get a Volt Switch off, and he leads with Torn. So Magearna is my answer to Darkrai because Darkrai is going to be really annoying to deal with this entire match. So I'm scared of a knockoff because I'm AV Magearna. I want to keep my AV, so I'm gonna make a hard switch instead of Volt switching out into Regirock. As he goes for a U-turn, which now I kind of regret not going for the Volt switch, but whatever. He's
switches around. He goes into Megalocario, presumably to really pressure out the Regirock and possibly get up some setup.
Yep.
I was going to say, are we going to go at the same pace as the second half?
No, we could go a little faster if you want. Okay. I'm going to go into Suicune because that's my switch into Megalocario. Hopefully get some Rocky Helmet damage off because that right after some Rocky Helmet damage and rocks, Lucario just dies to a regular return, no boost. I'm going to go for a Scald, and I'm going to get the burn on Reuniclus, which reveals that he is Regenerator, not Magic Guard, which is, you don't understand how happy I was when I saw that, because now I could Toxic this thing and just be, because I didn't prep that well for it. That's why I brought Trick Victini. He's going to make the play into Darkrai, and I'm going to make the play into Magearna, as that's my dedicated switch in. I'm going to Volt Switch out, and I believe I go into Regirock here to try to Toxic it. He's going to go into Mudweiser, the Mudsdale, and I know here he's going to go for rocks, so we're just going to exchange rocks, and it shows that I'm faster than Mudsdale here, which is interesting. So, but I'm going to make the I'm going to make the switch out into Suicune because that's my defensive wall, and that does a decent amount of damage for Mudsdale. So,
I was going to say I'm just going to kind of keep part on this because you actually know what happened.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the rest. Keep this thing healthy, and I'm gonna try to get a roar, or I do not want to get the burn on this thing because that'd be really bad. He starts setting up, right? I get the roar, thank God, on turn 12. Get some Rocky Helmet, Rocks damage on Torn, as he's gonna go for the Air Slash. He's revealing that he's not Hurricane. He's gonna go for the U-turn, and I get to go for, I believe, a Drain Punch. I was predicting the Mega Lucario or something like that to switch in on the Stone Edge, but that's pretty brilliant that he went into Mudsdale. And honestly, at this point, I'm just going to sack off my Regirock here at turn 15, just because, honestly, I want to Suicune really healthy, and Torn is pretty handled by Magearna at this moment anyway, and Regirock doesn't handle anything else other than Torn. And Reuniclus. Yeah, the only thing it could do Reuniclus is Toxic it, and so I'm just going to let this thing go down. I let it get the boost. I thought it would go down the same turn I would, as he makes a prediction, trying to predict the Mega Mens to come in for on a rock slide. But I'm just gonna keep clicking Drain Punch and just sack this thing off. I don't really care too much about it this match. So I'm gonna go into Suicune. I know I wake up this turn here. After so I'm gonna click a Scald, take out Mudsdale, and now he could go into Torn. He could go for the taunt here, so I'm gonna make the double out into Raikou just in case, or some move. As he goes for the Air Slash, and now I think he goes out into Reuniclus, right? I'm going to go for the Toxic, which is nice. Because now this thing is on a timer, which is amazing. I did not want to deal with this thing, and Casey goes for his Calm Mind, I'm going to switch out the Suicune and roar it out. He goes for Psychic, and I'm just going to rest up again. I want this thing fully healthy. It's my answer to Diancie as well if it's set up. So he's going to go for Air Slash, and I'm going to just go burn one of my sleep turns. And I'm going to make a double switch back into Saber on turn 24, the Raikou, and he goes for the Air Slash. And this is where I reveal my sub Protect Raikou, I believe. As he goes for the U-turn, goes into Reuniclus, and I'm going to sub up. And this is not going to be fun for Honor, as he is going to get. It's going to be annoying. I'm going to Protect to waste out his Psychics, and I'm going to get Recovery right here. I'm going to go for a Discharge, bring this thing low. He's going to go for a Psychic, and it fades. So here's the thing. I could go for a Protect here, but I decided to go for a sub in case he goes for Recover, but he makes the good play and goes for Psychic, breaking my sub, not letting me set up another sub, which brings me down a little bit. I believe I do save Raikou, just in case. I believe for I told myself on turn 29 that I would save Raikou unless Mega Lucario comes in. Because I do not. I could get like a Discharge off on something else, which is nice, or be like have it as a sack. As Magearna is a perfect answer to Darkrai, so the only thing I did not want to happen is let Mega Lucario set up. So I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna make the switch out to Magearna. He's gonna go for the Dark Pulse. Does nothing as you see, and Magearna eats it. I'm gonna go for Volt Switch again. I could bring back in Raikou here. As this thing is pretty much almost dead. On turn 31, I was debating between sub or sub or protect or discharge. I didn't know if he was gonna hard switch, because if I get the protect off, I live a U-turn, right? So if if I make the prediction right, it's gonna be really good. But if not, Darkrai might come in and just revenge me. So I'm gonna go for Protect here, make the right decision here, and it takes me out of range of the U-turn. And I'm gonna go for the Toxic, knowing he's gonna go for the U-turn, trying to get the Regenerator back. As he goes into Diancie, that's his switch in right now, which is very interesting. This thing is worn down. I'm gonna get a Discharge off, which is nice, get some damage off, and he reveals to be Trick Room Diancie, which is actually kind of scary. And I'm gonna go for Protect as he goes for the Earth Power, trying to waste down some Trick Room turns. I'm gonna go for the Double Protect just in case I could possibly get it, but we're both gonna go down this turn, I believe. Yep, on turn 35. He's gonna go into Torrent. I outspeed everything on his team. That's why I go out to Suicune. Suicune outspeeds everything in Trick Room, and I'm gonna try to get a turn off as a sleep talk turn off, and I get a Scald. And he's gonna go into Mega Lucario. I'm gonna go for a Scald to get the damage off on the Lucario that I need for Salamence to take it out. And he's gonna go for a Crunch, and I'm gonna go for a Roar as he gets Rocky Helmet chip damage, and I'm not gonna let that thing set up, and I'm just gonna sack my Suicune to Darkrai. Magearna pretty much cleans up Darkrai. If Mega Lucario switches in here on the switch in on 40 Mega Lucario is pretty much done. So I'm just gonna click Dazzling Gleam. No over predicting. If Mega Lucario comes in, it's pretty much dead anyway, and he's gonna kill my Magearna. There's no point in saving differential. And I'm gonna give this kill to Mega Mens here, just because it's been a beast all season long. Any thoughts on that, Spurge?
No. I mean, it's another win for the mindless core.
Yeah.
Which I can remember when we were drafting. And I can remember going to bed when you picked up Megament and waking up to see that you'd got Magina and flipping just everything. Just I was in the worst mood that day, and I can remember giving you an earful about it across Discord.
Oh yeah, I know. And see, here's the thing: Crypto could have prevented that, but he decided to go with his Talonflame
Yeah,
Mega Infos pick. But I'm glad I get to use Mega Man and Maguna this season. It's been actually insane. But
yeah,
so I don't have the matchups up right now, but I do have the teams that are playing this next week. For this week, I meant for playoffs
so,
for the semis.
yeah,
It is Sketch versus me, and then we got Crypto versus Jimmy. Um,
double
yeah. See, the problem is I don't know how Jimmy's gonna have a difficult time breaking through Crypto's team, as I think it's gonna have four move slot syndrome.
yeah.
For me, I'm gonna have a difficult time breaking through Sketch's core. We'll see how that works. I'm not gonna reveal anything just in case this goes up before we play our match. I do not want to Sketch to see any of my ideas. But Spurs definitely knows what they are. But
I mean, yeah.
until next time, I guess we'll probably do another upload of this afterwards, and maybe even talk about depending on which teams are in the final, what we see of possible brings or something like that in the finals. So
Yeah.
until then, UPC out.